My name is Max Pollak. I was born in Vienna, Austria, and I moved here about 18 years ago, and was originally invited by a tap company called Manhattan Tap to be a bebop tap dancer, essentially. What got me into tap dancing was a movie of Fred Astaire that I saw when I was 5 years old, and I just really loved the way he moved so effortlessly and was absolutely making the music visible. And I tried to take lessons, and my parents tried to find places for me to study, but in Austria at that point there was barely any tap instruction to speak of. So it took another about 6 years until I could take some tap lessons. But then I got started, and I also got into playing the drums, and I started playing jazz with some friends who had a New Orleans style brass band in Vienna, the only one of that kind apparently at that point. And that was really fun because we had a lot of guests also from the European jazz scene, and I got introduced to the repertoire of the early jazz and New Orleans jazz idiom, which was really helpful. And I also had a lot of fun just dancing and marching and playing with a brass band. It was fantastic. And once I got into Latin music, which was actually here in New York, I was introduced to it by some friends who I've played with for a long time. It's a band called Grupo Los Santos, headed by Paul Carlin and William Beaver Bausch, and a great guitarist by the name of Pete Smith. And they introduced me to Afro-Cuban music. And I was really fascinated by the way the rhythms interact. And I also started taking Afro-Cuban drumming lessons at the new school where I was studying music. And my teacher was Bobby Sanabria. And I think that pretty much explains a lot of the other stuff. He's a great teacher, so I got deeply into it. And he also introduced me to the form of dance, Afro-Cuban rumba dance, which was very different from anything I'd ever seen before. And that's where I decided that I wanted to merge rumba dance movement and rumba and Afro-Cuban folkloric music and percussion vocabulary with the tap vocabulary that I sort of had come up with, or that I had already been doing for a while. And that proved to be very labor intensive. I had to practice a lot, but it was a very great experience of sort of finding my own voice over the course of 15 years or so. What I love about my style, rumba tap as I call it, is that first of all, it's a unique and universal language that anybody understands. I can go to Bulgaria, to Russia, to anywhere, and if I start dancing, people immediately understand what I'm about. And the great thing is I don't need to carry any drums and equipment around because I just hit myself and there you go. And I can have tap shoes or no tap shoes. I've performed barefoot, I've performed in regular shoes and sneakers. It doesn't really make so much of a difference anymore because I just approach the whole body as a drum set. I got into body music because I didn't really want to carry so many drums anymore, and it was easier to make the music on my own body. And in the last couple of years, I've also connected with a lot of other people worldwide who do the same kind of thing, making music just with their body, with percussion and singing. And in Brazil, I met some really great people. This group, Barbatuques, led by Fernando Barba, who's a musical genius, and has taught me a lot. And we make music together, just, as I said, just using the voice and our bodies to make rhythm. And they create a lot of different orchestrations that are really, really fascinating. And the great thing is, as I go around the world to teach this, people can learn it very easily. You don't have to be a musician, you don't have to be a dancer, you don't have to have any equipment. You don't even have to be able to walk. I've taught people in wheelchairs. They still have fun making music with whatever they can use to make percussion. And there still is, even if you have to sit down, you can still use this, for instance, or you can sing, you can chant rhythms. It's a lot of fun.